Crash Course in Romance has surprisingly exceeded expectations since its premiere on January 14 on Netflix and TVN. This romantic comedy with a dash of thriller, set in a high school background, has beat all odds when it comes to the romantic comedy genre. The last episode rated 13% nationwide, which is a 2% climb from its previous 11% rating. We can credit its success to the veteran actors and cast who bring every character to life. And of course, the impeccable writing of the writer, her innate ability to effortlessly combine various elements, and the excellent directing of the director. As the drama progresses, most fans can predict how the romance between Chi-yeol and Hang Seon could end, especially after the last episode when Hae revealed Hang Seon's marital status to the world. But the thriller aspect of the drama is a bit difficult to predict as most fans can't figure out the identity of the serial killer, making our detective antennas rise to the task. That's why today, I'm going to talk about who the serial killer could be based on the little hints the drama has revealed so far. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell for all things K-drama. One of the mysteries of this delightful drama is the identity of the serial killer. The writer made sure to keep his identity hidden, as most fans naturally suspect Hui-Jae. Most fans suspect Hui-Jae because of his weirdness. But as the popular saying goes, there's no smoke without fire. Hui-Jae is truly a mysterious character, which makes him an easy suspect. He goes out at night in a hoodie, identical to what the killer wears, and seems to have an obsession with metal balls, which is the serial killer's killing weapon. And if you recall, he was at the shop when Young-min and his friends spoke about stealing Hae's spot on the all-care program. And from the CCTV obtained by the police, we can see someone with his body built following Young-min out when he left the shop. His mother Seo-jin suspects he's up to no good. What makes her more suspicious of him is because of the metal balls she had found in his drawers, and her trackers showing that he was around Imperial Apartments when Jin Hui-Sang was murdered. Fans also suspect him because he had run from the police when they wanted to question him. If you recall, in episode 6, an elderly woman complained to the police about hearing strange popping noises at night. She also said she thinks someone was feeding and killing the street cats. She had once seen metal balls littered on the street, but they were gone the following morning. What if Hui-Jae is the one feeding and killing the cats? If you recall, in one of the episodes, during one of his nightly shenanigans, as he was walking past an ally, he heard the cry of a cat and followed it. As we know, he seems to have some sort of mental illness due to his mother's smoldering. Maybe he developed some fascination with metal balls because it gives him some kind of peace, or for his cat killing. What if he's only guilty of feeding the street cats or even murdering them? That could be the reason he ran from the police. Another reason why I doubt he could be the killer is his lack of motive. If you recall, all the victims seem to have something in common, which is they had one way or the other offended Chi-yeol. Because of this, I believe the killer is close to Chi-yeol. So far, there's no connection between Hui-Jae and Chi-yeol. Hui-Jae has no reason to murder those who had offended the star mathematician. There's another line of thought that he might consider himself a vigilante of some sort, and had injured or possibly killed the student who had caused the rumor about Chi-yeol dating his students in the first episode, after reading about her online. And killed Young-min after hearing about his mother's evilness in stealing Hae's spot in the all-care program. For a son who doesn't want to be there. But then, what about Lee-sang? Hui-Jae couldn't have been the killer as he knows nothing about him. And he sure doesn't know Lee-sang is behind Choi-cheol's soul sex. Hui-Jae can't be the killer as he was emotional after witnessing something on the day of Lee-sang's murder. If you recall, he was there according to the tracker his mother Seo-jin had placed in his phone. If he was the killer, I don't think he would be sick from whatever he had witnessed, as we can see in the preview for episode 11 when Sun-jae holds him close. Lee-sang must have been killed by someone who knows him and what he does. That brings us to Dong-Hui, Chi-yeol's assistant. We know close to nothing when it comes to Dong-Hui. But we know he's completely devoted to Chi-yeol. He does more than just be his assistant. He looks out for him and stands by him to the extent of being ridiculed by the other staff members. Without him, Chi-yeol will have a hard time. And being Chi-yeol's assistant made him privy to all the nuances caused by the victims of the murder. Maybe his loyalty and devotion run deeper than we think. Maybe he'd go the extra mile of eliminating any threat to Chi-yeol's career. Hence, the murders. But then, Chi-yeol didn't tell him about Lee-sang being behind Choi-cheol's Solsex. If you recall, he had said he would tell him later. But then, what if Dong-Hui had figured it out himself? As we know, he knows Chi-yeol more than anyone in the drama. He could have figured it out after witnessing their bizarre behavior toward one another. But then, why would he be so devoted to Chi-yeol to the point of killing for him? What if he is Jong Soo-hyun's younger brother? If you recall, he had heard about Chi-yeol from his sister before her suicide. She had even given him a pen to return to Chi-yeol, which he had delivered on the day of her funeral. What if that was when he had mentally formed a connection with him? If you recall, no one seems to know where he is. He disappeared after being acquitted of pushing his mother to her death. What if he reinvented himself by changing his name? All these are possible. He might not be an easy suspect as he seems cool and collected. But just as Hui-Jae has no motive, Dong-Hui, on the other hand, has a motive which is to protect Chi-yeol's image at all costs. He could have hero worship for Chi-yeol because of his late sister. Then again, in episode 10, when the detectives had gone to Pride Academy because of Lee-sang's murder, Detective Song had looked at Dong-Hui curiously. He had said that he looked familiar. And if you pay attention to Dong-Hui's countenance, he seemed uncomfortable by the detectives as he left with Chi-yeol. If you recall, Detective Song had told Detective Bae Young-soo about the case of Jong Soo-hyun's younger brother pushing his mother to her death. This means that he had been involved in the case back then. What if that's why Dong-Hui's face seems familiar to him? I believe the mystery of the killer's identity will be solved soon. In the preview for the next episode, we can see a hooded image running. You can see he looks more like Dong-Hui than Hui-Jae, who is tall and more masculine than Dong-Hui. Also, from the preview, we can see that the detectives are all out to find the killer. And Chi-yeol seems to be putting the pieces together as he seems to be connected to the murders, somehow. It's only a matter of time before the killer is caught. Who do you think is the killer? Do you think Hui-Jae and Dong-Hui could be in it together? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to share and subscribe to this channel for all things K-drama. Thanks for watching, bye.